Welcome to my non-premium Tier 1 Ultimate Hardcore Advertisement Ironman. After defeating the previous ads and obtaining maximum stats in Squeal of Fortune, I decided to take a step further and up the ante. In this series I will not only defeat all the ads, but the only way I can upgrade my stats is through random unskippable pop-ups. And the goal is simple: defeat the biggest advertisement boss in Oldschool Runescape. This is Commercial Man. Welcome back, my guy. A wise queen once said, if you're a broke boy, just say so. And that is the topic of today's video. In this case, the broke boy is Jagex, because it seems like they run out of money and need more. Where does that money come from? Well, out of your pocket, obviously. Few months ago, Jagex came up with a survey to test if Oldschool Runescape players would like to see more paid options in-game. It went horribly wrong. Some would say it was the worst decision Jagex has made since the game was released. It was covered by massive YouTubers, it was covered by mainstream media. It definitely left a sour taste in everyone's mouth, and millions of people saw the lie that Jagex has been telling. It's been over a month now, and things have calmed down. So I want to go back and look at this entire situation objectively. Who is to blame for this? Are we going to see this again? How big of a mistake this really is, and what does the future look like? Every single game I love is turning into a slot machine. I played RuneScape 3 and they ruined that. I played TFT and they added a new gacha system with $200 chibis. I mean, it's a cat that's turned into a bread. But guess what? People will pay $150 for this. I played League of Legends and they started adding $500 cosmetics. In 2015, I decided to start playing Counter-Strike and realized that the game is just a Gamba hotspot with a tiny bit of first-person shooting attached to it. And now, my beloved Oldschool Runescape is going down the same route. For the longest time I thought I was the problem. Maybe I'm just cursed. Every game I play turns into a Las Vegas casino. But then I realized that's just the gaming market in 2025. And it's honestly surprising that Oldschool Runescape hasn't gone down this route already. I mean, they definitely attempted in the past. I remember they made a poll in 2019 that was titled Partnerships in Oldschool Runescape. The idea was that you purchase something with real life money and you get a benefit in game. Good example of that was everyone got to change their skin color to purple if they used Twitch Prime to gain membership. They tried to pull people in by saying that all the stuff that you pay for now will be available for free later on. So even if you're a broke boy, you can still enjoy all the cosmetics. So they sent it for a poll and it was an absolute disaster. To this day, it's still the lowest yes votes we've ever had in a poll. Like, look at this question. Do you want to have yellow skin in the game with 27% yes votes and 72% no votes? I guess the partnership here would be something like a cheap beer or maybe an energy drink. Order now, and just like our drinks, you can also have best color in game. What I'm trying to say is that the poll was a mess. It was total of 23 questions, from player-owned house teams to emotes to skin colors to home teleport animations. Every single question had like 20% yes votes, and Jagex left it at that. The main statement players presented to Jagex was simple. Think about why Oldschool Runescape launched in the first place and why it's become such a massive success. People are tired of modern MMOs that promote MTX, that promote ads, loot boxes, and so on. We just want to pay $10 a month and have access to the full game. That's it. And the main concern was the same as it is right now. Players don't trust Jagex to handle this properly. And once you start going down this route, once you open that Pandora's box where cosmetics become available through real life money, you are never closing that box again. The penguins at the top will see these profits, and the main priority will be to add more of these cosmetics instead of making meaningful game updates for all players. It's always the same. It was like this in 2010 when RuneScape 3 fell apart. It was like this in 2019 when they pulled this, and it's still the same right now in 2025. Also, I just got to put this in. I love this line from 2019 blog post that said this. To be completely clear about this, everyone at Jagex, including the CEO Mod Pips himself, is in agreement that we will not add any MTX to Oldschool Runescape. We understand that doing so would completely contradict the spirit of what has made this game a success. And the CEO also said the same thing here, and he also said the same thing here, and he also said it here. He has publicly stated at least 4 times that MTX will not be added into Oldschool Runescape. Okay, first of all, we already have MTX in the game and it's the most popular item available to us. And second of all, if there is something in-game that's only accessible by paying real-life money, that is by definition a microtransaction. So you say multiple times that you're not adding MTX while you're trying to promote something that can be only purchased with real-life money is straight up a lie. Words have meaning. You can't just push the safety button and say you're not adding MTX even though you're clearly trying to do so. And guess what? You've already done it. Modpips, you were the one that added MTX into RuneScape in the first place. Here is you saying that the thing you added into RuneScape 3 had zero impact for player numbers.
By contrast, in early 2012, we launched a feature that could have been similarly disruptive. It was called the Squeal of Fortune. It was a mystery box style minigame where you could spin a prize wheel, get things like in-game resources, XP boosts, or currency. And it did cause quite a stir, and there were some complaints, but it actually had zero impact on either our existing or our returning player numbers. And I believe this was because it fundamentally didn't change the core of the game.
Of course, you conveniently left out the fact that RuneScape 3 is almost dead by now, and it's all thanks to MTX that you and your team added in. Because obviously, that wouldn't fit the narrative, right? Look, if you want to bend me over and go at it, just be a gentleman and at least be honest with me before you stick your wiener into my wallet. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. That was honestly toxic. I'm losing my grip here. Let's get back to the topic. So the CEO of Jagex promises to not add MTX into OSRS. Now let's jump back into this year when the CEO is trying to add MTX into OSRS. The survey itself is just so incredibly dumb. It was randomized, so basically you pick and choose what you like and don't like, and it's like a psychological thing where later on Jagex looks at what people click the most and go through the data. But some of the things here don't make any sense at all. Like there is this one option where you can have one member character for $10.99 and then you can have an extra character for $13.99. Like what? Why can't I just have two characters and both for $10.99 like it is right now? I honestly doubt anyone double checked this or even put any thought into this whatsoever. And people caught on very fast. It wasn't even a full day until this came out and all hell broke loose. Of course, Jagex acted very fast and came up with their own corporate apology. The main excuse when they got caught with their pants down was that they're testing some new things and are just gathering feedback through a random survey. And of course, they say multiple times how truly sorry they are about this.
Sorry.
By the way, the last time Jagex added MTX into RuneScape 3, Modpips mentioned that it was done through surveys and testing things out, aka the exact same thing he said in the latest blog post. It's just another good example of tell your audience what they want to hear. And from the blog post you can see the same pattern that we've seen multiple times. We won't be reducing AFK time for any paid membership, meaning that if you're a free-to-play player, we still might do that. There are no plans for this currently, meaning we're just waiting for the right opportunity. The point is, the blog post is intentionally extremely vague so that it leaves some options open. Like look at this, we won't consider any ads for regular paid membership, but we don't tell you what regular means in the future. By the way, this is the CEO promoting MTX in his LinkedIn last month. At this point, it's like an emotional comedy where they keep tangling the bait in front of us while promising that we're not gonna get hooked in. How many times we've been told that MTX will never happen and all these comfort words over and over again, really trying to guarantee that the OSRS will be different compared to all the other slop on the market. And now to make this contradicting survey just seems like a slap in the face to all those statements. These surveys always do more harm than good, and the penguins at the top should know any better to not mess around like that, because it always ends with the same words, I am sorry. But honestly, I personally don't care about sorry anymore. Like sorry has very little meaning when you're a big corporation and you have a golden goose, but you're trying to squeeze even more eggs out of the goose and you get caught with your pee-pee in your hands. Like the sentence, we heard you loud and clear, has been said so many times in different blog posts throughout the years that it's lost all meaning by now. I don't think you are hearing us loud and clear. I think you just have a pre-written script on your desk and the words loud and clear is chapter 1 of that script. Stop shaking your player base upside down to get our last golden coins. Life is difficult enough already in 2025. Don't be another reason to make people angry. Anyways, so let me read out the title of this video again. Is this the future of RuneScape? Well, it's hard to say. I know they will come up with an idea for more MTX in the future. I mean, that's given at this point. It just depends on how players react. If people keep making noise and making sure that it gets shut down very fast, we might just continue to play this cat and mouse game. Every 6 months, the CEO says how sorry they are, and we'll continue playing. On the other hand, from everything I read to what I see, it's hard to believe anything Jagex is saying these days. Everything just sounds extremely polarizing. I swear, I heard for 10 years that Jagex is actively trying to make customer support better, so seeing that Jagex is now trying to put it behind a paywall is just an absolute kick in the nuts. Let me ask you, did all those promises for all those years mean absolutely nothing to you guys? Like one of the statements said, managing Oldschool Runescape community isn't only about listening what players want, it's also talking about the uncomfortable topics. Dude, if you knew what the players wanted, you would have never made this survey in the first place. It's so disrespectful towards your players to think they now want to pay extra for features that were promised to them years ago. They already made up their mind about MTX, it's just about letting things cool down and going again in 6 to 9 months. The difference this time around is that people will quit. Like just straight up. Majority of the player base is between 25 to 35 years old. I doubt people have any problems just moving on and playing something else. There is just one question. There's one teeny tiny question, and a question I haven't been able to find an answer. Why are you doing this? Why is this necessary? Like how far can greediness go? The game has never been more popular than it is right now. We literally had 250,000 people log in at the same time during leaks. Most of them were paid customers. I guarantee you during the month of December, the company probably generated millions of dollars of profit in just 1 month. I just want to know how much is enough. You have one of the most successful MMOs of all time, and your first thought is how we can make more money. That's not how normal people think. And I swear to God, if I hear one more time how much you care about your player base and how much you want to improve the game with some extra corpus speech as cherry on top, I'm gonna lose my mind. And this is the biggest problem. You're just not honest with your players. I've said this many times. Once you break that trust, it's so hard to build it back. Look how long it took for people to start trusting Jagex again. For the first 2 years of Oldschool Runescape, people didn't even want any updates at all because they were so terrified that Jagex is somehow going to destroy the game again. The company is simply not honest in a lot of cases. They said things like, oh, we're just testing some stuff here. Bruh, you put a full production video into your survey. As someone who has completed dozens of Jagex surveys to give feedback before, this was the first time I've ever seen a full-on production with scripts, recording, editing, embedding, and everything else. You don't do that kind of thing unless you're serious about it. So when it comes to future of Oldschool Runescape, it's very hard to trust what Jagex is saying. They tell you one thing and then they do the exact opposite. They say they're sorry and then they do it again 6 months later. It's like I said earlier, words almost lose all meaning when you throw them around like nothing. The future of this game is in the hands of the players. I will eat my words, but I guarantee you they will come back with another MTX offer very soon. It's our job to keep this game healthy and make sure we never let it happen. If all players push back and the hero of MTX will still try to squeeze it in, then it's just time to move on. Again. That's it. I thank you all and I'll see you next time. I love you all very much. Bye.